Anyway, yeah, man. Back to what is ninja? You know what I'm saying? Fact and fiction and commentary and speculation. Uh, yeah, man. Back to Musashi. Like the reason why I said it's not necessarily like I even I remember him saying he's like, do not just simply imitate others. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you basically you got to do what you're good at. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't understand like what you're doing, he's like, don't imitate others because you might just pick up uh a bad method. You know what I mean? He's like, if you start doing something and you diverge it a little bit, in the end, it'll be a large divergence, which is pretty much true. You know what I'm saying? And basically, this guy eventually, it comes down to where he's got to fight like the the other guy that's out there trying to make a name for himself and establish himself as the greatest uh, warrior samurai of all time. Basically, what happens is supposedly Musashi's on a rock and he's sitting there and he's kind of I don't know. I guess he's clearing his mind. That's what I'd imagine. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't got nothing bogging him down when the stuff goes down. And just like yeah, I think in his first battles, the first thing he did is he showed up late, and he also did this here. So what worked in the beginning, likewise, also worked in the end. But he was on the rock, sitting there by a river, which I can understand that, man. I mean, because listen, me being ninja, that is somewhere where I would gravitate to naturally, just because it's like something about the soothing effect of moving water. You know what I mean? It's a good place to chill and just try to do that, man. Clear your mind or whatever, dude. Just do uh, uh, some internal. You gotta like yeah, just equally like you work on the body. You gotta do mental techniques, man, too. You know what I mean? Because it's a crazy thing that you're doing. So you gotta take the necessary. You gotta do some. You gotta do some things that I guess that you don't have to do unless this is what you do. But I mean, that's one of the things you do. You do have to try to train your mind. You know. But the dude's sitting by the rock, and he's being rowed to the fight, the duel spot. It's on some beach. Uh, it's all like ceremonial, and so you know what I mean. Orchestrated. But on the way there, supposedly he carves. He takes an oar and he carves this oar into a sword-like thing. And the thing about like Musashi was renowned for his innovation technique. You know what I'm saying? This other guy was renowned for using extra long sword. So see, Musashi was already there. He wrote about it, man. It was like he was talking about anyone who depends on a certain kind of weapon. That's their weakness, and it came true with this guy because, like I was talking about the mimic skill. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost like, or it's not always mimicking. So see, you've done something similar, and you flow off of what your opponent is showing you. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so Musashi has this sword that I made out of wood, which is just a little longer than this guy's long sword, extra long sword. So not only did this guy got beat by his own method, at the same time But so let's work this down here. Musashi shows up late. So this dude is offended. He's like, how dare you show up late, man? You're supposed to be here at sunrise. And, blase, blase, it doesn't matter. And the guy already is angry. And when people are angry, it's like in Bagua, there's something called, it says, calm plus action equals internal power. Though you can rage out and attain certain power, but the calm mind should be able to always overtake the raging mind. You know what I'm saying? But two raging minds, man, I don't know. It's different. And two calm minds, it's way, way different. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard of that type of situation yet, but if I do, I'll probably make a video about it. But anyway, so a dude shows up late, man's offended. Not only is he offended about him showing up late, he looks at the weapon. He says to him, he's like, hey, where's your sword? And Musashi pulls out this ore that he carved. And then the guy gets more offended. He was like, what? You think I'm some kind of joke? You're that good that you think you're gonna kill me with the stick? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come here late and come with the stick. Ain't we supposed to be the best swordsmen? Why are you bringing a stick here? Do you think I'm some kind of a joke? So look, the dude was super dumb, angry, and he didn't realize that he was being set up. You know what I'm saying? Because that was Musashi's thing, man. He was just, this guy was chess, not checkers, man. He was already in your mind, man. Whatever your traditions was, somehow he was trying to connive a way to use that to get you angry, man. So you're not calm plus action equals internal power. You're just raging out. You know what I'm saying? And this dude can just, you know what I'm saying? So basically, yeah, that's basically exactly what happens. The another swordsman guy was like, Musashi kept beating him, and the dude just wouldn't quit. So Musashi kept beating him, and finally, it got to a situation where it was the one guy went for the kill, and then Musashi had to put him down. And after that, supposedly he lost he lost the will to fight anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, it sucked. Because I'm not sure, but I think he even gave the guy an opportunity to walk away and, hone his skills more. But the dude was so proud, man, because he was that runner up, that he just couldn't let it go at the time. He didn't recognize that. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong on some points here, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with a human memory here. But to some effect, it was like that. And by me researching this guy, and Musashi says over and over and over and over again, you must research these things for yourself thoroughly. You must research these things for yourself thoroughly. Life will give you lessons that will teach you things that I cannot write in this book, and I can't teach you. But I'll make you aware of this process, and if you can catch on to it, you know what I'm saying, you can benefit from the skill of strategy, is the way he kept putting it. You know what I'm saying? He says you can see the benefit of understanding strategy. Ninja shit is all about strategy, man. It's all about point to the mountain, strike the grindstone. A perfect example would be the Viet Cong. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would send 3 or 4 guys and they'd shoot their guns in the air, like, and they would run away. And then all the soldiers would be like, oh, there they are, chase them. And then they'd go run, and they didn't know that these dudes had a bunch of mines set up there, or they had a bunch of guys not far back that would pop up and all go all at once. So I mean, it's a strategy of feigning a weakness and then lying in wait with soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Which comes from the art of war. You know what I'm saying? Let your enemy think you're far off when you're near, and when you're near, make them think you're far away. I mean, it's all the same thing. So if you can tap into any of these understandings and apply them, I mean, it doesn't even like it doesn't even have to necessarily pertain to fighting at all, man. I mean, there's other ways it could be applied. Like a modern ninjas would be like your Jason Bournes or your Navy SEALs and these special forces operatives, and even some of your black budget spook don't exist shadow super soldiers, man. They might be ninja ish. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know none of them, but from what I do know about what their potentials are, man. Yeah, it is. They definitely qualify. You know what I'm saying? Sniper. Them snipers are ninjas. They are fucking like, but they're they're worse than ninjas because they can get you from so far away. You know what I'm saying? That it sucks. You know what I'm saying? The how good they are. And then even like, hey, yeah, a team of SEALs, man. Listen, they are so good that if they're after you, man, they're gonna get you. I don't give a fuck if you're Musashi. I mean, yeah, they would get his ass too, man. I mean, I don't know. He might put up a little bit of a fight. I don't know. Maybe he could take him. You know what I'm saying? But I doubt it. You know, it's crazy, man. So I mean, there's just a lot of ways you can apply it. So it could mean real deal Japanese dudes or whatever, man. But from my understanding, it originated in China. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes were named the Lin Kui or something to that effect, man. And they were just they were guys who they'd like act hurt, and then you get up close to them, and they would like open their coat, and a bunch of needles would go flying out. So they were like this real dirty fighters. So I mean, that's basically dirty tactics. You know what I'm saying? Just cause listen, and just cause I understand dirty tactics doesn't mean I always use them. You know what I'm saying? Because anyone who practices kung fu has to learn how to control themselves. You know what I'm saying? You can act out in other ways, but don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't be kicking people's doors down, or you know what I'm saying? Knocking people over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta control it, man. That's part of it because part of knowing it, you gotta control it. There has been examples where the wrong people have learned the wrong knowledge, and it wasn't good. You know, but at the same time, there's a lot of there's got to be a lot of people out there like in the whole thing about the secrecy. Do they exist or don't they? There's probably a lot more that we don't know about it that really did happen than we'll ever be able to find out about, which is part of the mystery of the ninja. Like personally, I when I read like for instance, history of the Ojibwa people, and I hear about how I just read about the Indians, man. They had ninja qualities. When I read about Geronimo and the Apache, they had ninja qualities. Like it even said, like uh, it said there was a picture of Geronimo and four dudes, and then that's how the Apache liked to raid was which is a couple dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're almost like bank robbers of the time in a way, like or home invaders, or but it said as fierce as so many tigers, and it says and moving like the wind or something like that. And it even that's a Bagua poetry. It says walk like the wind. You know what I mean? And the Indians had those qualities. They could also see you not see them, or they could track people that couldn't track them, or they could steal your horses at night. You know what I'm saying? Or they would run away, and then the soldiers would chase, and there'd be a bunch of guys waiting. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the same thing. You just got to understand how to decipher it.